Establishing battlefield control. Stand by.
Hello, everybody. It's me, the Snowman. Can everybody hear me all right? Is everything good? How's everybody doing? Hey, Alex Pasadze. Hey, Luke Danger. Thank you for checking. Glad we're all here. Glad you can hear me well. Volume seems to be good. So we're going to get right into it. Yeah, mostly fine, Azura. I was really sick for most of last week, so I'm mostly okay now. But good grief, that was rough. Before we get started, just a little update on the documentary. So very slow going. For a while there, we had 4 voice actors that were still getting their stuff in, and it was because of other stuff. But 3 of them I was in direct contact with. And so 2 of them have now finished their lines. So there's only 2 left that I still need to get their lines from. Then a couple other like small bit parts from people I know. But I'm moving on with the visuals now. A lot of time was wasted trying to get Blender to work, and that ended up being a dead end. So instead, I'm working with Rogue from the Super Challenge Brothers channel, and he was saying that there's a lot you can do just with GIMP, which is that sort of open source version of Photoshop, essentially. And that, I think, is going to be a lot better. So currently, we're working on, if you ever seen Call of Duty 2 and its loading screens, where it's kind of like a desk and you see like a journal in the front, a leather-bound journal, and there's a bunch of like paraphernalia around. That's basically what I'm working on now, is trying to make various desks for like GDI or NOD when they're giving like soldier hand-eye eyewitness accounts, or if a Tiberian scientist is giving their take. Also got Zypher. I sent him pretty much everybody who's playing an expert. I sent him like a sample of all of their voice work and was like, here's what they sound like, here's the character they're playing. If you could draw like just from the shoulders up an artist rendition of what these guys look like. And he's like, awesome, I'll get on that soon. So we got the art going on that front. There's also another guy that I'm tapping to who did some amazing work with like making documents look like official GDI or NOD like documentation, like it look a little weathered. So he said he might have been open to like doing more of that. So I still haven't heard back from him, but I basically sent him a bunch of docs from stuff that you guys wrote and was like, hey, this is the kind of things I would like to be turned into, given the whole fake document treatment. Would you be up for that? Hopefully he responds soon, because that would be really great if we could get that in there as well. So basically the idea is that there be 3 types of things, or either be the experts talking, which would have art of the expert over like a background. So like if it's an economic expert, it would be like them in front of like a stock exchange. If it's like a military expert, they would be like in front of like a library or something. And then the second one is actual documents, which would be the documents over top the desks that I was talking about. And then the third type is like audio. So like what you saw in the teaser with like the NOD soldiers in Yugoslavia getting interviewed, you would be getting like actual like taped interviews from the time. So yeah, that's currently what's going on. I apologize that I don't have a lot to show. Some people have been asking for sneak peeks, and honestly, there just isn't enough, because a lot of the work I've been doing has been coordinating with real people to get things done. So there's not a lot to show yet, unfortunately. But there's a lot of stuff in the works. We got a guy calls himself Common Ground Audio, who has been building up his studio, and he's basically been putting together like the perfect sound studio, and he's going to be helping me work on the audio side of things, as well as doing remixes of the various audio stuff, so I can loop his tracks over the background of the documentary. So for the first time, we'll be having soundtracks that won't just be straight soundtracks from the games. Those will be original remixes by Common Ground Audio that'll be going in the background, which is really cool. He's done, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but he's done a remix that mixes the original Hell March from Red Alert 1 with Act on Instinct, and it's really good. Like, it's really good. And I'm basically going to be using that for the intro to the documentary because I want to very early set the tone that this documentary is assuming that Red Alert 1 is a prequel to Tiberian Dawn. So, a lot of good stuff in the works. I do apologize, there's not a lot I can show yet. But it is moving. Things are happening. I haven't given up on the project. There's been some weird IRL stuff happening, as well as me getting sick for a full week. But I am still very much working on the project. It's just, it kind of hit some molasses, and it's going a little slower than I'd like. But it is still happening. I am still shooting for summer of this year for when I release it. But this is all the necessary groundwork. Once it's done, everything else will go a lot faster. Once I've got the visual stuff and the audio stuff and everything done, I'll be able to basically go through the next 2/3 of the documentary much quicker because I'll have the entire workflow pipeline ready to go. Let's see what you guys have to say. Luke Danger says, the CNC tradition of remixing soundtracks continues. I hope he releases them independently later. I think he already has. If you look up Common Ground Audio and look up, like, I think it's March on Instinct is the name of the remix, it might already be up on SoundCloud. Because I think he just releases them as soon as they're done. So, go ahead and look that up. It's really good if you want a sneak peek of what the soundtrack of the documentary is going to sound like. Little Lore Jumper says that one remix of Act On Remix is a straight banger. Yeah, and Big Smile says, in my opinion, CNC is suffering from an identity crisis because of how many mods there are for the CNC Tiberium universe and for the Red universe. I'm not too big into the mod scene, so I can't speak to that. Why do you think that is? Thanks, Azura. Hope I can. Trevor Lane says, after putting some thought into it, I feel like the amphibious APC should have had a machine gun that could hit aircraft, but deals 1/4 the damage that a Wolverine can do and carries a full squad of 10 troops. Yeah, I definitely feel like the amphibious APC should have been buffed a bit. I feel like it's not quite as useful as it could be. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Last time we left off, we were escaping from Cabal, this time from the Nod perspective, which I think happens first before Cabal turns on GDI. Again, if I eventually make this into a documentary or cover this history, I'm going to have to try and syncretize all the events from both of these campaigns and figure out when each event happened and what came first, and that will be a nightmare. But that's a problem for future Snowman. Come on, guys. Oh, we gonna blow up the bridge? Oh!
We have to find that airfield or we're finished.
Alright. Little Lore Jumper says, I think Red Alert's universe post-RE1 is a lot less interesting, especially when compared to Tiberium Generals. To a certain degree, I agree with you. I don't know if I would fully agree with that. But as somebody whose favorite Red Alert is Red Alert 1, it's hard not to see what you mean. Alright, I think I have to go southwest. I think I could just gun it, honestly. If I remember correctly, I think you can just gun it to the southwest and then you're done. Oh, watch out for the late. Oh no, that's wrong. That's wrong. I went the wrong way. There's a whole move. There we go. Yeah, there's a whole Cabal base down here. Oh, it's a Tiberium. It's a cyborg processing plant. I didn't even notice that. Ugh. Nope. Okay, where did I put my Montauk, guys? It was right here. I'm pretty sure I parked it right here. Hey, Big Smile. Thanks. You can thank Snowmom for that, and Snowdad. Can I get here? Am I missing an objective? Oh, I have to go to the abandoned airfield first. That's why. There, you guys can stay back. Mission failed. Ah! Okay, well. Oh, now I see Luke Danger stuff. Okay, well. Alright, let's try this again. Let's try this again. Got a little ahead of the curve. Jack O the Clanner. Greetings, I'm new here. Nice to meet you folks. Good to have you here. Welcome to the HHC Snowman Igloo. Alright, we gotta find the airfield. Ugh. Oh wait, up here. There we go. Repair the array. Oh, I'm supposed to repair the array. Shoot, I better not lose my engineers then. Little lore jumper, would you ever be interested in debating CNC versus other universes? I'm definitely not asking this question of any ulterior motives. I don't know. My main thing is CNC. It'd be hard to do it if it was versus like another RTS universe. I still haven't played through all of StarCraft. Never played any Warcraft. I'm a big Age of Empires and Age of Mythology guy, but that's not really a story-based thing for the most part, except for Age of Mythology. Like, there's a lot of, like, really iconic RTSs I still haven't played.
Message transmitted. Montauk is en route. Awaiting orders. Sir, yes, sir.
Okay. I think we're good now. So I'm going to save, and then we're going to go to the Montauk. I think the map is expanded, too, so I think we can do that now. Prepare the array to call for immediate evacuation. Retreat to the Montauk. Okay, let's give that a go, then.
Sir, I'm on way.
Yep.
Montauk. We are standing by for your evening.
The first time we ever get to see the Montauk in-game, guys. Look at that. We got to see the Kodiak in the original game, but we never actually got to see the Montauk in the main game. I remember seeing it. I remember seeing it in the manual, being like Montauk. I'm like, well, that's funny. Why is it in the manual? I never actually get to see it. I didn't even realize it was in the expansion, which I didn't get as a kid. I didn't get to play the expansion until years later. Gosh, I miss this old art style. Woo! All right, very quickly done. Very quickly done. Nice work. Santiago Sanchez Ortega, good to have you on the chat. Well, little lore jumper, what are your favorite RTS games? Luke Danger. Meanwhile, Killing Machine blast in the background, as it should be. Azura says, "I love the Montauk, but the name is so random." What is a Montauk, like outside of the CNC context? What does that word actually mean? Because I know what Kodiak is. It's a type of bear. All right. Let's go ahead and go to the next mission. Let's keep it rolling. Let me just mute myself because, as I've mentioned multiple times, the audio for the cutscenes is just naturally quieter than the gameplay. So I just mute myself when the cutscenes start so that you can turn up the volume for yourself, and then just turn it back down once I come back on.
The inner circle has been destroyed. Nod is in greater disarray than ever. However, your actions of today will not be forgotten. Like the phoenix, you will rise out of the ashes reborn. Organization and communication are the key. With Cabal's betrayal, we need a new tactical computer. This GDI outpost is large enough to contain its own EVA unit. Although not as sophisticated an AI as Cabal, we can be certain it won't try to kill us. Get me the EV unit. For me. And Nod.
Okay, welcome to this mission. This mission isn't too hard if you know what you're doing. Unfortunately, I don't think I remember. Let me look at the chat real quick. Victory. Jacko the Clanner says, would you say the Montauk shonen game and not the cutscene is to scale? Nothing is to scale. The Kodiak is not nearly as big as it should be in the original Tiberian Sun. I think it's closer to its actual size in Firestorm when it's crashed. Actually, the Montauk is smaller. Maybe it is closer to actual scale. I don't know. I'm bad with scales. Shock Combo, welcome. Welcome to the chat. Snow, did you see the Dwarf Kickstarter? Did you like the look of it? Yes, I did see the Dwarf Kickstarter. If you guys have seen the new indie game that's been in development for years, Dwarf. I love the art style, and it's funny because looking into it behind the scenes, they specifically said they were inspired most by Tiberian Sun for wanting to get the art style and atmosphere right, which is like, hey, you're talking my language. I'm very excited about that. Dwarf is probably the only other indie RTS game that I'm really excited about since Tempest Rising, which, by the way, once this is complete, which I'm hoping either this time or next live stream to complete this campaign, the very next live stream will be covering Tempest Rising. So, and I have not played any of the campaign of Tempest Rising. I've only played Skirmish because I've been waiting to share it with all of you lovely people. Hey, Vidit of Light. Hail once again, Man of Snow. Just pop it in real quick. Hope everyone is well. Enjoy Firestorm and crush the thralls of the crush the machines. Indeed. Trevin Lane says, designing troops for an army is a pain. I recently ran into the issue when designing troops and doctrine for factions in my D&D world. Nice. I'm a tabletop man myself. Let's see what else we got here. Renegade 2 would be interesting if it was immediately after the events of the first game and after the First Tiberium War, or set with a different character in the second or third Tiberium. Yeah, it's a shame we never got another FPS from Westwood. Vidit of Light, can I bother you for an estimate for the next round of VA lines? No pressure. I know I have a lot going on, but I have to ask. The props for Tempest Rising was great. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm thinking I might just go ahead and send stuff out for the next round of voice acting stuff just to give you guys something to do and me something to do. But it might be another week or two just because I want to nail down at least some of the visual stuff that I wanted to get done. But yeah, look forward to it, I would say, in April. Early to mid-April, I think, is when I'm going to be like, okay, just send it. Next round is going to go. So we'll see how that works. The other thing, too, is like there's one voice actor that still hasn't gotten back to me in any capacity, and I might have to recast him if he doesn't get back to me soon. So, which is a shame because I feel... I don't know. It depends. I'll have to see. If I can get him, great. He's really good. But if I can't... If any of you haven't had a chance to, like, audition yet and you want to, like, get in there... I'm not promising anything, but there may be an open spot for you guys that I did not expect to have. Hey, Eric Luzman. Luke Danger. Though ultimately driving from Montauk, an indigenous American tribe that used to live in Long Island until they got exiled to Missouri. Fate worse than death, getting exiled to Missouri. I'm sorry. If anybody's here from Missouri, I apologize. Alright. Alright, let's send you guys out as far as we can.
Unit ready. Yes, sir. Sir? Moving out. Unit ready.
Okay. Remember correctly, this one is relatively simple too, as long as you know what you're doing. Ugh. Whoa. That's a lot of Tiberium.
I bet if we attack these civilians, GDI will come to the rescue. Waiting orders. I bet if we attack these civilians, GDI will come to the rescue.
Wow, twin brothers.
Unit reporting. Moving out.
Alright, if I remember correctly, I have to
Moving out.
attack these villages and get the air units away before I send in my subterranean APC to capture the radar. Bit of light. Sounds great. Thank you. I should log off. Wish I could hang out, but worked out late today and tonight. Keep us safe from the machines while asleep. All the best, everyone. Good to see you, Bit of light. Always a pleasure. Loot danger. Yeah, this mission can be quick, but you need to be able to do it quick because those orc bombers do not hesitate to bomb you in the middle of the base. Gotcha. Also, I gotta say, I really love the fact that there's a whole mission dedicated to stealing an Ava unit because your AI assistant just completely went nuts. Like, that's the kind of immersion I think I love in RTS games. Just, hey, you could have just with one line in a cutscene been like, hey, we lost Cabal, so we have a backup AI that's not connected to any of Cabal's stuff. Here we go. And be done. And for most people, I think that would be enough. But I love the fact that there's a whole mission dedicated to like fixing this issue that makes you feel more connected with your interface and with the voices telling you unit ready and everything. Like, that's a level of immersion I think I miss that I wish more RTS games would do. Like, it's such a different kind of mission, you know? It's like we're spending the whole mission just so that you can switch out the voice. And then for the rest of the Nod campaign after this mission, it's Ava's voice. And I just think that's so freaking cool. Loot danger. It also makes a fun parallel to how the campaign started. You started it to get Cabal, now because of Cabal you need a new one. Exactly. Also, something I noticed just playing a lot of these Tiberian Sun and Firestorm missions is realizing just how much the Nod missions tend to skew more towards, you know, these stealthy, hit and run, quickly grab something and get out sort of missions. Even the final Nod mission in the main Tiberian Sun game isn't a, hey, destroy the entire GDI base. It's sneak these missiles into position so you can destroy the Philadelphia. Take the ion cannon from GDI. Like, it's so apropos, and as much as I love, like, CNC3, I don't feel like the final mission of Nod feels uniquely Nod. It feels like the kind of mission... I mean, it does feel uniquely Nod in the sense that, like, hey, you have to defend the aliens from GDI because Kane's got plans within plans. I do like that. That is very thematically on point. But from a gameplay perspective, I guess, it still kind of boils down to destroy the enemy, as opposed to being something uniquely Nod. And so does the Scrin final mission, so does the GDI final mission. Again, nothing against those final missions for all three. I love the themes of all three of those final missions, but the gameplay, I guess, is what I'm talking about. Jez2007 says, true, I think the Firestorm does mission-based storytelling extremely well. I agree. Trevin Lane, honestly, Nod works best when playing towards these Spec Ops missions. I agree, and I miss when there was a lot more variety in the kinds of missions that RTSs would have. Like, I still play Red Alert 1 so much because of all the indoor missions. Because it's just unique, you know? Were they frustrating a lot of times? Of course they were. Okay, I think this is the base. I just need to find the radar. Mark Kalanick says, Operation Stiletto in Tiberium 3 is hard. It is. That's probably the one that's closest to like feeling like a Nod mission from the classic days. I did like that one. Okay, there's the air. Where's the radar? Is the radar further above these guys? I feel like it is. I could be wrong, but I remember the radar being past these helipads. Am I... Can somebody verify that if you guys remember this mission? Okay, that's the upgrade center, I believe. Luke Danger says, it would have helped if the Scrim were able to actually fight back if you took out key assets, rather than effectively being a speed bump, already being bombarded by super juggernauts and elite units. Yes. Luke Danger, the tunnel is across ice. Be mindful in crossing it, since it will crack. And yes, the radar is past the helipads. I think there's an MSA near it, too. Gotcha. Okay, then... We're golden then. Let's just go find the other village, go attack them, and then we'll send up our guys here and go do our thing. Okay, 6. All right, so you're going to attack these guys when the time is right. You're going to attack these guys when the time is right. And you... Is there, I think there's another village over here, so I'm going to go find that. So that's a further thing we can do. And then we're going to have the APC pop up here and get in there. See, guys, this is what happens when you don't properly pavement your entire base. It's not like there's even rough terrain here. There's nothing stopping you from paving that. That's just bad base design. Trevin Lane says, "What's in the crates?" I think they're healing, if I remember correctly. Also, I love that everything's damaged. Well, not these guys, but all the stealth tanks. It really, and they're like veteran elites. It really makes it seem like these guys just barely survived Cabal's onslaught, and this is all we have to spare. Luke Danger says, "You'll need to time your attacks too. If the base gets attacked, the units come pretty quickly, so you'll need to split your units." So are you saying I shouldn't attack the civilian targets all at once? I should kind of like stagger them, as well as time it so that my APC makes it there at the right time? I feel like that's what you're saying. Hey, Speedy JJ, good to have you here. Luke Danger, that's actually absolutely right. These are units being rushed from the front line. Nice. See, it's the little things. Like, it doesn't make a lot of difference. Like, does it functionally make a lot of difference that we suddenly have Ava's voice? No, it doesn't. But the fact that we have a whole mission and it actually does change just makes me immersed in the world. And that's what I love about Tiberian Sun the most. Out of all the Command & Conquer games, this is the one that makes me feel the most immersed in the world. And I miss that not just in RTS games, but honestly in games overall. Like, Assassin's Creed used to do that really well with the early Assassin's Creeds, with the Animus. They would really go hard with the Animus being everything, and all the UI that you say as you play is just the Animus basically showing Desmond how to play the game and play through his memories. Like, it's just little things like that, man. They don't actually make a lot of difference as far as, like... Oh, here we go. Whoa! Okay, alright. Alright then. Let's send you guys to the various places. No, don't attack. It's not what I said. You just go over here, I guess. Alright. We're ready to begin our final attack soon. Luke Danger. Basically, you want the Orcas to be by the village when the ASAPC arrives. Good idea. Okay, let's make you 2. Let's make you 1. And let's make you 3. And you're going to be 5, 6. 6 and 7. Alright, let's see what we can do. I'm going to try and pull this off. It's the little things that count. Exactly, Speedy JJ. Luke Danger, there's one mission in Tempest Rising that changes your unit color to fit the story, so it's not wholly lost. Ooh, I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, I've heard some, like, criticisms of Tempest Rising, but I want to hold off my opinions until I play it myself. And at least as far as the skirmish goes, I'm having a lot of fun. I haven't had fun in like a newer RTS just playing against the AI in a very long time. Okay. Here we go. We're going to have you... Is the stream doing okay? Go, go, go. Whoa, 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 whoa. What the actual shrimp? Alright, Okay, well, this is not going as well as I thought it would.
Waiting orders. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't remember there being a bunch of Orca bombers. I do not remember that.
Sir. Yes,
What should I do? Ugh.
Yes, sir. Unit reporting. Unit reporting. Yes, sir. Unit reporting. Sir. On my way.
Luke Danger, I remember the Orca bombers, but not that many at once. Some stealth tanks to knock out the Wolverines might help, though. And it froze again. I was besides say, pretty sure I did it by sneaking one stealth tank through the base and going through the north edge. Okay. I'm going to try and go through the tunnel. And at least have them, like, take some of the heat from the Orca bombers and then have my APC go in. That might be the only way I could think of.
Sir, moving out. Waiting orders. Sir. Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On my way. On my way. Unit orders received.
Alright, we're going to have to be careful with this one.
Moving out.
Oh, thanks, Aussie.
Orders received. Moving out. Yes, sir.
Uh-oh, this is going to be bad.
Yes, sir. Orders received.
Or not?
Yes, sir.
That worked.
Yes, sir. On my way.
I really wish the Wolverines could sink, but I don't think they can. Alright, the ice is healing. The ice is healing.
Moving out. Moving out. Yes, sir. On my way. Moving out. Moving out. Moving out. On my way. Moving out.
There we go.
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On my way. Orders received. Orders received. Orders received. Orders received. Moving out. Moving out.
Alright, last one.
Unit on my way. Orders received.
Hello, folks. Tedious work. The radar is northwest of the upgrade center. So, I'm assuming this is the upgrade center, so like right up here. Then it might actually be better for me to put my APC here. We'll see. If I distract them by putting the stealth tanks through here, and then have my APC show up here, that actually might be best.
Unit reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On my way. Yes, sir. Orders received. Moving out.
Alright, that should do the trick.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
Alright, let's give it a go. Alright, guys, once more with feeling.
Orders.
Also, I had a realization last night that may have been obvious to everyone else, but I realized that the Firestorm generator is a counter to the cluster missile. And I thought, it kind of sucks that Nod doesn't have a counter. And it's like, no, duh, the stealth generator is the counter to the ion cannon, because if you can't see where something is, you can't attack it.
Unit ready. No problem. Unit reporting. Sir. Unit reporting. Yes, sir. Unit moving out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, let's give this a go. No! No! Come on! Now you show up!
Yes, sir. Orders received. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On my way. Orders received. Yes, sir. Unit ready. On my way. Yes, sir. Sir, orders received. Yes, sir. No problem. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Unit report.
There we go. Did it. That's how it's done, folks. That's how it's done. Thanks everyone in the chat for helping me get through that. Whew. All right, let's see what we got here. Trevor Lane says, I love the environmental factors of this game. Me too. I wish more games had like weather and other things. Like even if it's as simple as the ion storm that just knocks out radar for a bit and turns off all hover units, like that's just, and all air units, like it's cool stuff, man. Like don't need to reinvent the wheel. You know, you don't need to make something super innovative, because I think that was a problem some people also were thinking about, was the idea of like you change too much in an RTS and people don't know how to play it. Like FPS is all kind of figured out, there's a formula, and you kind of stick roughly with that so everyone knows how to play an FPS, even if it's kind of different with each one. There's not really a set formula for a lot of RTSs. I think that's what I liked about Tempest Rising the most, because people will complain like, oh, it's too similar to CNC. To me, it's like, no, that's perfect. I loaded into Tempest Rising. I knew exactly how to play the game. That's the radar building. That's how you do upgrades. That's the War Factory building. You know, nothing was too crazy. Everything, I could generally figure out how to play the game. Oh, that's how power works. You build power plants. Everything made sense because it still adhered to a basic template, and I could jump right into it instead of getting frustrated and not knowing how to do the basics of the game. I think the places where you need to innovate are things like subterranean units, stealth, you know, some weather effects, environmental factors, immersion. Like, you can innovate in a lot of cool areas that don't completely break how you know how to play a game. Maybe I'm talking nonsense, but to me, the fact that Tempest Rising stuck so close to the CNC formula was a positive. You know, it was a feature, not a bug. Okay. Aussie says, how many hours of work do you estimate will be put into this documentary? Too many. And I'm bad at estimating. Luke Danger. Okay, I just pulled up the map diorama. Oh, you already read that. Alex Basadze. The ice is cracking right before spring is coming soon, I think. It's so warm. Aussie just quoted that. I was literally about to quote that. Chase Baker says, meta-wise, that tracks, except the ion cannon can be fired on blank space and just battleship your way through the grid. Yes, but unlike the cluster missile, you can't get a lot with that one precision strike. So it's going to be a lot harder to just kind of trial and error your way through it. Zura says, yeah, that small part near the power plant, and no problem. Luke Danger, to be fair, how long would it take to battleship your way across the map, especially with multi-minute recharge and small blast rate? Yeah, exactly what I said. Oh, hey, Roomwish. Good to hear from you. Hey, Alicia. Hey, Snowman. Sorry I'm late. IRL things are happening. Of course. No problem at all. But yeah, no, to catch you up, Alicia, everything went wrong. The mad AI cabal went mad and started attacking Nod forces. So this is the Nod side of things. It's the same thing that happened during the GDI campaign, except from the Nod perspective. So they got out of there, and then they needed a new AI, so they stole GDI's AI so they could at least command their forces, which Ava, GDI's AI, is not sentient, so it's a much better choice. Azura says, you were right about reinventing the wheel. Like, technically all FPS are Doom clones, but if you say that, you sound like... Yeah, exactly. Luke Danger says, plus what Tempest Rising builds on existing things. GDF comms can be said to be an expansion of MSAs, or Dynasty's Death Balls taking squishing things to the next level. Yeah, the comm system for GDF was definitely hard for me to figure out. I eventually figured it out. Part of the problem is that I haven't played the campaign yet, and campaigns usually do a good job of teaching you the mechanics of the game for when you play multiplayer and skirmish. But it is an innovation, and I did notice that very early on. I clocked that. That and the doctrine system I thought was interesting. Okay, Trevin Lane. Units need clear roles that tie into a faction doctrine and cover a needed combat function. It makes unit design a lot harder than most think. Yeah, I don't doubt that it is extremely hard to like build out a whole unit roster and have it feel good and be better than the sum of its parts. Alicia says, interesting, thanks for catching me up. I did see the cutscene earlier when you weren't having some lag. Oh, awesome. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to mute myself, and we're going to do the next cutscene.
Eva, state attack analysis.
GDI casualty rates unacceptable. This course of action will...
Stop. What's the status on the Eva reprogramming?
Done.
Activated.
Nod casualty rate well within acceptable parameters.
Much better. Commander, it's time we took the battle to Cabal. Eva?
Displaying probable location of Cabal's central core.
Commander, we are the Black Hand of Nod. We are the salvation of Nod. Cabal betrayed just not you and I, but he betrayed the Brotherhood. He betrayed Cain. And there is only one price for betrayal. Destroy Cabal.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Here we go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Can you not move towards the danger, please? Can you please deploy like I told you to? Oh my gosh, guys. Is it that hard to follow orders?
Yes, sir. Sir. Waiting. On my way. Sir, on my way. Yes, sir. Sir. Yes, sir. Sir. Yes, sir. Sir, on my way.
New construction options.
Unit reporting. You got it.
Construction complete. New construction options. Building.
Unit ready. Waiting orders.
Was that so hard, guys? Was that so hard?
Unit ready.
My gosh. Oh, I forgot to save for mission 6. Gosh dang it. Ugh, whatever. Actually, you know what? Hang on. There we go. I'm a genius.
Sir.
So much saving. Alright.
Unit reporting.
Well, we found the Tiberian field, everyone.
Unit reporting.
Luke Danger says, plus you need to be mindful of roster having redundancies, too many versions of the grunt with a rifle, and they're just clutter. Yeah, no, exactly. I feel like a lot of RTSs I've played, like the newer ones or mods, tend to have like, oh, we can get as many units as we want, and then there's just a bunch of units that I just never use. It's like, I found the couple that work, I found my Titan spam, like, this is like mildly more useful than the other one, so why would I pick it?
New construction options.
Unit ready. Yes, sir. Moving out.
Ugh. Luke Danger, Nod casualty rate well within acceptable parameters. Exactly, I love that part too. Just,
Orders received. Orders received. Orders received.
Alicia, just to be fully sure, as I did hear small bits earlier, this is your last Nod campaign stream before Tempest, making sure I recorded. I'm trying to. That might be overly optimistic, but I'm hoping to finish out the campaign this time. We knocked out those 2 missions pretty quickly, but these last 3 missions, I think, can be pretty long, so we'll see.
Sir. Yes, sir. Sir. Yes, sir. Sir. Unit
I love the Tiberium spreading on its own just from what the cyborgs left. It's so cool.
Construction complete. Building.
Yes, sir. Moving out.
Remember correctly, this one's not that hard if you just build a bunch of tanks and artillery.
Yes, sir.
Construction complete. Building.
Unit. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On my way.
Jazz 2007. Is this mission where you can get infinite reinforcement by securing the bridges at the edge of the map? I don't think so. Ah!
New construction options. Building.
Unit ready. Yes, sir. Moving out. On my way. Unit ready. Waiting orders.
There we go. All right. I don't remember, Jez. I don't remember. Blue Danger. So this mission features 2 bridges you can capture for regular deployments of a couple tick tanks every few minutes, and there's a missile silos to the northeast you can capture for cluster missiles. Oh, awesome! Or Glusman says, the Sora app shutting down means we're getting further from Cabal. Yes, everyone, the world is healing.
Construction complete.
I'm aware of that. That's what I'm trying to do.
New construction options. Building. Building.
And I'll build a few more refineries. I definitely need some scout vehicles. What was the last video game that came out that you guys were actually like super excited for and actually like met your expectations and was like a really good game for you?
New construction options. Building.
I feel like that's getting rarer and rarer these days.
Building.
Helldivers 2 from Shot Combo. Ah, very excellent. Excellent choice. I played the original Helldivers for a while before the second one came out, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're going third person.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
On my way.
Luke Danger says, for later in the mission, Cabal's main base has a lot of vulnerable power to the west that you can access just to the northwest of the western bridge. Makes them install easier.
Orders received.
Gotcha.
Moving out. Yes, sir.
Insufficient funds.
Oh, we got floaters.
Unit ready. Yes, sir.
Ah, no!
Yes, sir. You got it. Sir. Unit, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Waiting, yes, sir.
Sheesh.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Moving out.
Okay.
Moving out.
Paul's main base lower to the west. I guess it's just northwest of the Western Bridge. Okay, I'll give that a shot. Azura says, not using an EVA unit isn't that unfounded. Tiberium Dawn had them both. That's true.
Moving out. Moving out.
Shot Combo says, before that, probably Valheim. I've heard good things about Valheim. I've just never been able to get into the kind of like long-form survival game.
Yes, sir. On my way. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On my way.
Azura says, Resident Evil Requiem. Ah, excellent choice. I've been really looking at that game where I'm like, I think that might be one of the
Yes, sir.
first Resident Evil games I might actually get, because I haven't really played them. I'm not really a horror guy overall. The only other horror game I think I've played is sorry, I had to blow my nose. The only other horror game I think I played is The Evil Within 2 and Minecraft. Evil Within 2, I love that game. So,
On my way.
but Resident Evil Requiem might be the first Resident Evil game I finally get.
Orders received. Yes, sir.
Trevor Lane, XCOM 2. Helldivers 2 has been fun, but so much of being made has been crapped. You're not wrong.
Orders received.
Azura says, feels like Capcom is the exception to the rule right now. It really is. Capcom's kind of on a real winning streak these days.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Orders
Oh.
received.
Whoop. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Whoop. Okay. Ambush. Cyborg ambush.
On my way. Yes, sir.
Too many cyborgs. Where's my... There we go.
Building.
Oh gosh, they're all coming. Shoot.
Yes, sir. Unit reporting. Unit ready. Yes, sir. Sir. On my way.
I need lasers.
Construction complete. New construction options. Building.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
Missile launch detected.
Missile launch detected?
Construction. Base under
Unit ready. On my way. Got it. Unit ready.
Well, this was a bad move on my part.
Unit ready. Construction complete. Building.
We might actually survive this.
Construction.
Nah, boys, we're gonna win this fight.
Unit lost. Construction complete. Building.
Wow, I can't believe we pulled that off. Go us. What did it even hit? I don't think it actually hit anything.
Waiting orders received. Yes, sir.
Okay.
On my way.
What other games we got here?
Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
Orders received. Yes, sir.
XCOM 2, Helldivers 2. Xenonauts 2. Is that spiritual successor to the original XCOM? I could be remembering that wrong. There's one bridge to capture for steady reinforcements. Where is that bridge? Is that up here somewhere? I'm gonna have to go find it. Golden Lap, Motorsport Manager, Sim set in the 70s. Oh, that's nice.
Yes, sir. On my
Okay.
way. Orders received. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Moving out.
Okay. Let's try and go up here. See what... Oh wait, that's an obelisk of light right
On
there.
my way.
All right, I'm gonna have to repair this. So
Training.
Waiting orders.
let's go left. We haven't explored left yet. What was I asking about?
Awaiting order. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yeah, let's see if we can get this going. Let's get one more Tiberium refinery. Who is texting me? I love how they just kept attacking this one tick tank and not even attacking my
You got it. Ready. You got
my guys here. So they were free to just infinitely fix him. Also, I don't think I ever noticed this, but the repair arm for the mobile repair unit kind of looks like a scorpion tail.
Waiting orders, sir. Unit ready.
Gotcha, Luke Danger. I didn't realize. I thought it was more raised. Okay. Woo.
Prepared. Insufficient funds.
Oh, you're insufficient.
Building. Construction complete.
Ah, really? Wait, what's being attacked? Oh.
Moving out. Unit ready.
Is that a blue? What?
Waiting orders. Orders received.
Well, that's interesting.
Orders received.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Ready. Unit ready.
You go home.
Yes, sir.
Is that a visual glitch, or are they actually supposed to look like that?
Yes, sir.
I can't tell if that's a glitch or if they're actually supposed to look like that. Because that's pretty cool if it is. Alright, let's explore to the west. To the west. Men of the west.
Unit ready.
Unit ready.
On my way. On my way.
Ooh, danger. Might be a glitch. Maybe it's intentional, but it isn't usually seen. Gosh dang it.
On my way.
Though in my opinion, the blue T-Vis raid should have been like a suicide bomber exploded green tip.
Yes, sir.
What did it destroy? Not a lot, actually. Huh. Not bad. Not bad.
Building.
That could have been a lot worse.
Sir, you got it. Waiting order. Yes, sir. Waiting order. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Moving out.
Ugh.
Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
On my way.
Building.
Let's go. I also miss RTSs that would just let me take my time.
Waiting orders received. On my way.
I don't need to be a pro gamer.
Yes, sir.
The only game RTS I can really think of that I took the time to like try and become really good at it
Orders received.
was Age of Mythology.
Received. On my way. Orders received.
Building.
Unit ready. Yes, sir. Orders received. Yes, sir. On my way. On my way. Yes, sir. Moving out.
Phonum, I appreciate the Tiberian Sun nod barracks more once I realized from your post comparing CNC holding a globe barracks. This one is actually holding the actual globe. Yeah, you're not wrong. I know, I didn't play Tiberian Dawn until much later, and obviously I didn't play CNC 3 until actually,
Yes, sir.
until actually after I played the game that shall not be named. Gosh dang it.
Unit lost.
So most of my experience with the Hand of Nod is this one, and actually now the one that grips the globe looks weirder to my brain. Okay. Well, we gotta get that other one. So let's,
Training. Building.
and then I guess we'll build some tech tanks and another war factory, I suppose.
Building.
Okay, one sec, guys. Somebody is texting the snot out of me, and I gotta make sure it's not something emergency. I feel like if it's an emergency, they would call, though, right? Gotcha. Oh, wait, hold up. This might be important, guys. To you guys. Oh my gosh. Guys, this is super important. Just give me a sec. Oh, what does he got here? Come on. Load. Oh, that's cool. Okay, guys. Haha. Flak Track has accepted and says he is totally down to make all of the main documents for the documentary look like fake documents. And he says he's already working on the ones that come from newspaper articles. He just sent me a snippet of one that came from a book. It looks really good. I'm so happy that he said yes, because that's going to make everything look so much better and more immersive. Oh, I'm excited. Bostic's going to hire me at Petro. No. No, this is for the documentary. Flak Track agreed. He agreed to, he's the guy I was telling you about who was going to make the documents look like real life documents. Yeah, he just said yes. He just sent me the email. I was a little afraid because I sent him a lot of documents and was like, hey, can you turn all of these into like amazing looking documents? And he's like, oh, I'm so down. I'm just like, yes. Oh gosh. I hope this inspires other people because I'm gonna get married in a little while, and like I'm probably not gonna have the time to make another documentary on Tiberian Sun, even though I want that more than anything in the world.
Primary building.
But like I hope this inspires other CNC YouTubers or new CNC YouTubers to like give it a shot at their own thing. I know there was somebody in the chat, I think a couple live streams ago, that was like, hey, if I started doing something as like a mini documentary on Red Alert 1, would you be down to help contribute to that? And I was like 100%. Like, if this inspires other people to like do stuff, and not even just with CNC, I hope this kind of stuff happens with like a lot of other properties as well. Like, good grief. Because I think I mentioned this before, but kind of the thing that one of my goals with this documentary is not just for the CNC fans, but for the wider gaming community and really the wider storytelling community. I want them to see how well the storytelling in Tiberian Dawn was done and how well the storytelling in the Tiberium series overall was done. I feel like it doesn't get appreciated enough for its world building and all the things it has to say about, you know, the world and media manipulation and other things like that. I feel like it really was well done, and I hope that people see it and appreciate it for what it is. Oh, that's really cool, Speedy JJ. If you need any extra voices or help with that, let me know. What am I doing? More tick tanks.
Building.
Let's build another war factory, I guess.
Building.
Hello, more tick tanks. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so let's have you guys be group number 1.
Sir.
You guys are going to be group number 2. And you guys are going to be group number 3.
Unit reporting. Orders received.
And then we're just going to go up there and take them out. But first, we need to find that other bridge. Tanks. Build more tanks. Alright, where's the... What happened to my... Didn't I have a... Oh, you.
Orders. Moving out.
I need you to get up here and find that other bridge.
Yes, sir. On my way. Orders
Ooh,
received.
what's at this? A harvester. Are you running out of Tiberian, Mr. Cabal?
Yes, sir.
Missile launch
Yes, sir.
detected.
I hope you just attack...
Unit
On
ready.
my way. Waiting orders.
Construction complete.
Ah!
Unit lost.
Well, you know, that could have been a lot worse.
Funds.
Unit ready.
No, no, don't stand still. That's when you die.
Moving out.
You need to keep moving.
Moving out. Moving out.
Luke Danger, you said there was missile silos you could capture somewhere. Is that, you said northwest or northeast?
On my way. Orders received. Yes, sir. On my way. On my way. On my way. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Orders received. Moving out. Moving out. Moving out.
Shoot, it's a dead end.
Ready.
Orders received. Waiting. Yes, sir. On my way.
Northeast. Okay. I guess we'll just conquer up this way and then go from there.
Unit ready. Waiting orders.
Oh, so I'm gonna need more artillery.
Yes, sir. Waiting orders. Unit ready.
Unit lost.
Oh, hey.
Yes, sir. Sir.
Oh my gosh, it made it that far? I didn't even realize it made it that far. But hey, there's the bridge.
Training. Ready.
It's interesting how, like, the tick tanks sort of lob their shots, whereas the Titans just immediately hit scan their targets. That's a lot of damage. Uh-oh.
Unit on my way. Unit moving out. Sir. Moving out. Unit ready. Yes, sir. Unit moving out. Sir. Sir. Receiving. Moving out. Unit ready. Unit moving. Sir. Moving out. Unit ready. Waiting orders. Moving out.
Ready.
Sir. Unit ready. Yes, sir. Unit ready. Sir. No. Unit ready. On my way. Waiting order. No. Yes, sir. Sir. No, sir. Unit ready. Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, sir.
That took care of it. Titans explicitly use laser-guided shells. If I remember correctly, whereas tick tanks don't necessarily do so. And I think that's why the Titan shots always have the red attack command line, too. Oh, interesting. That's a cool bit of lore. Do you also play other similar futuristic, like KKND and Earth 2140? I have not. I think I mentioned this before. I have not played a lot of other RTSs, honestly. Mostly the Command and Conquer series, Age of Empires, Age of Mythology. I really need to expand, and that's part of what these live streams are going to do. After I'm done with this one, I'm going to start playing a bunch of other RTSs. I think after Tempest Rising, I'm going to go back and finish StarCraft.
Building.
Waiting orders received. Yes, sir. Engineering all sir.
Unit ready.
Unit ready. Moving out.
Okay. Did I miss anything in the chat? Somebody was saying that was important. Orglusen says the original version of the Bible was compiled around the time of King Josiah. That was what my archaeology teaches. I think that's what's indicated by that story, right? Wasn't King Josiah the one that rediscovered the Book of the Law and all the scriptures in the temple because it had been lost for a while? So I think that makes sense, at least from what I remember. Okay. Tick tanks are decent for defenses. They're basically turrets to get free repairs to the repair vehicle. That's true. That's true. The repair vehicle is it free? I think it is free. Yeah, that's because the repair pad for GDI is not free. Hey, Michael Grodel. Hope this hasn't been sent before, but what will the next part of the script for the voice actors be sent? Yeah, sorry, someone else was just asking about that. I'm thinking early to mid-April. So look forward to it within the next couple of weeks, I think, is when you should be able.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Hello, let's go.
Sir.
All right. All right, let's get you guys up here.
Unit ready.
All right. Total Annihilation, Supreme Commander, Forged Alliance, and BAR are great. RTS type. Yeah, I'm probably gonna play all of those at some point on the channel for the live streams.
Building.
I'm definitely gonna need help with Total Annihilation because I tried that and I was so lost. The UI just didn't teach me anything about how to play the game. I feel like if you didn't grow up with that, you're just completely lost with that game, unless I completely missed a tutorial or something. Supreme Commander, though, looks fun.
Ready.
Orders received. Yes, sir. Engineering all problem. No problem. Engineering all problem. Admitted, sir. Yes, sir. Waiting orders. Admitted. Admitted.
Unit ready.
No problem. No problem.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Waiting. Yes, sir. Unit reporting. Yes, sir. Unit ready. Yes, sir. Unit ready.
Unit ready.
Orders received. Unit reporting. Yes, sir. Sir? Waiting order.
All right, let's push upwards. What time is it? Making pretty good time. Pretty good time.
Unit ready.
Let's have you guys come up here so you're just.
Unit reporting.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Sir. Unit reporting. Unit reporting. Sir.
Unit
Unit
ready.
reporting. Unit ready. Waiting
Unit
orders.
ready.
Unit reporting. Unit reporting.
All right, let's go.
Unit ready. Yes, sir. On my way.
Unit ready.
Orders received. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Unit report. Unit reporting. Unit reporting.
Oh, there they are.
On my way. Yes, sir. Down the road. On my way. Sir.
Ready.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Waiting orders. Down the road.
Now we're cooking with gas. Now we're thinking with portals. All right. See ya, Trevin Lane.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On my way.
Okay, I think that's clear.
Yes, sir. Moving out.
Yeah, for those of you who weren't following or haven't been on the voice actor list,
Unit ready.
the first third of the documentary covers the first year of the conflict up to the Bialystok incident and the death of Seth.
Yes, sir.
So the second year will cover everything from the shutdown of GDI's funding all the way just up until they get their funding back, and most of Nod's
Yes, sir.
exploits in Western Africa.
Orders received. Engineering. No problem. Unit ready.
And away we go. Does something special happen when you take the radar?
Moving out.
That might give you some radar. Maybe, maybe not. But it doesn't. You're right. I think I remember it doing that a couple times.
Engineering. Affirmative. Unit ready. Yes, sir. Waiting orders.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really proud of the script. I really am excited to show it to you. And I'm really happy with everything people wrote. Like, people wrote a lot of really cool stuff.
Yes, sir. No problem. Awaiting orders. No problem. Engineering. No problem. Awaiting orders.
Building
Affirmative.
captured. Reinforcements have arrived.
Awaiting orders.
Building
We
captured.
got a multi-missile.
Unit reporting. Moving out. Unit ready.
All right, let's make this quick. I think we have enough to punch through the rest.
Moving out.
Now, you said the Northwest would be easier, Luke Danger.
On my way.
Michael Grodel says, how much of the Nod campaign in Tibdon do you consider canon? I always saw it as both campaign being canonically myself, with Nod remnants holding in Africa immediately after the war. Yeah, that's basically how I'm going to do it. Everything up until Nod getting control of the ion cannon control codes, I'm going to consider canon. Basically, where it diverges, as I'm going to say, Kane, because of the successes of Solomon in Eastern Europe, has to go to the temple in Sarajevo to take command of those forces directly, because it's going so poorly. And because of that, the Nod commander doesn't have Kane's direct help in the African campaign, and that results in him failing in the mission to get the ion cannon control code. So everything up until that point is canon, but then after that, the Africa campaign stalls, and then everything else from the GI campaign is canon. That's how I'm basically decided to run it. Alicia Earl says, I do wonder if Snowman and the Bros will ever do a membership pack. Is that possible? What do you mean? Speedy JJ, I'm still like that guy who was talking about Kane and chanting in another language. This lady's jealous determination.
Unit ready. Orders received. Orders received.
Building.
Privateer Man says, does Nod still manage to ion cannon a monument? In my version of events, no, they do not. I think that if they succeeded in ion cannon a monument, I think that would be it, and I think GDI would be immediately and permanently defunded, and Kane would essentially win. So for that reason, I think there's no scenario in canon where that can be allowed to happen.
On my way.
Reinforcements have arrived.
On my way. Unit reporting. Yes, sir. Unit report. Yes, sir.
I've heard some people say that they think it can still happen and be canon with the rest of the GDI campaign. I think they're vastly underestimating how much of an effect that would happen if the world saw that GDI could not be trusted, either because they deliberately attacked a monument, or at the very least, because they can't be trusted to protect their assets, especially since they had lied to the public and didn't tell them that they were developing the ion cannon in the first place. Like, that would be a major breach of trust, and in my mind, that would be the end of GDI. Not militarily, but politically, which I think is the perfect ending for Nod if they were to succeed.
Yes,
Luke Danger, your main tank blob is also on a secondary path to the main base that's a little less defended, or at least it doesn't have laser fencing, so you can use both to smooth the path. Okay, awesome. Michael Grodel says, by the way, which monument did you level in the Nod campaign? I personally always destroy last. Yeah, me too. I don't know if that's just because like I'm American, but also I feel like even on the international stage, that would be the attack that would most shock the Western world. You destroy the you destroy the Eiffel Tower. I'm pretty sure half of Paris would be like, you know what? That's actually an improvement.
Yes, sir.
I don't actually mind that. Maybe this King guy isn't so bad.
On my way.
The Brandenburg Gate. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people in America that couldn't even point to that on a map or know that that's in Germany. I hope I'm not a dumb American. That's actually not in Germany, and I'm showing my idiocy. And then the other one was the Parliament Building. I think the Parliament Building would be up there. If you destroyed the Parliament Building with an ion cannon, I think that would have nearly, if not the same effect as destroying the White House.
Yes, sir.
But I just don't see those other two targets as mattering as much, just because they're not like centers of political strength.
Yes, sir. No problem. No problem. Yes, sir. You got it. Sir? Sir? Waiting orders. Waiting orders. No. Yes, sir. Orders
Oh, here we go.
on my way. Yes, sir. On my way. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ugh. Privateer Man says, if Nod only fails on the final mission, how does that work with the rest of the Nod campaign? They literally control all of Africa save South Africa. Does you have a post-war campaign to clear them? Yeah, basically the idea is that there is a bit of mop-up operations for GDI, but it's a lot easier in the sense that I feel like
On my way. Yes, sir. Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir.
a lot of Nod's holdings in those areas are not necessarily because they have total military control, but because they've gotten enough control that the nations nearby them have basically been like, okay, we'll support you. As soon as Kane is killed at Sarajevo, a lot of the nations in my mind immediately pull their support and start allowing UN forces in there, and a lot of things start falling apart, especially since Nod loses morale once King is killed. So that's sort of my view on things as far as that goes. I'm not claiming that that's necessarily canon, but I basically, there's no concrete lore for what exactly is and isn't canon in the Nod campaign. And for the documentary, I have to draw the line somewhere and say, just, okay, this is canon for the purposes of our documentary, so that's what I chose. Luke Danger says, yeah, that's exactly why Kane wanted to steal the ion cannon like that, to frame GDI and show them as horribly impotent. Exactly. Asymmetric warfare. He knows how to beat GDI. He knows he never could actually beat GDI in a straight-up fight.
Units ready. Unit ready. Target found and clear. Unit ready. On my way.
Shock Combo says, I think White House because Independence Day back then. Fair enough.
On my way. On my way. On my way.
Where'd it go? It was just here.
You got it. Yes, sir. On my way.
There it is.
On my way.
Silence needed.
Yes, sir. No. On my way. You got it.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Unit ready. Unit reporting. Unit reporting. Yes, sir.
Blue Danger, you're in the main base now. May as well keep blasting westwards. You'll hit the power anyways. You also need to capture another control station deeper in the base. Gotcha. Michael Gordle says, funnily enough, the Brandenburg Gate is probably the most likely to have been destroyed since it never comes up again, unlike all the others, if you assume the last mission is canonical. That's a good point. Come on. Luke Danger. Ah, yes, this is the first mission where Nod can build MSAs and gets the use out of them.
No problem.
That's another good point. Brr, 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 brr.
Sir. Yes, sir.
I guess we're moving this way.
Sir. On my way.
Even when they're my own forces, hearing that drilling noise just fills me with fear because I'm so used to playing as GDI. Whoa, okay. Hold up, guys. We got bigger problems.
You got it.
Lost.
Sir? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got it. Waiting order.
Unit ready.
On my way. Sir? Waiting order. Standing by. Sir? Yes, sir.
Reinforcements have arrived.
On my way. Yes, sir.
Okie dokie. Here we go.
Unit
Sir.
ready.
Yes, sir. Unit ready. On my way. Sir? Orders received. Unit ready.
Well, this went a little quicker than I thought it was going to, so that's good.
On my way. Orders received. Yes, sir. You got it.
Whoa, okay. Well, that happened.
Moving out. Waiting orders. Unit report. Yes, sir. Sir? No problem.
Unit lost.
Unit ready.
Unit
Sir? Yes, sir. Unit ready. You got it. Unit report. You got it. Waiting orders. Yes, sir. Waiting order. You got it. Waiting orders. You got it. Yes, sir.
Privateer Man. Will the documentary include mentions of Nod's Cabal prototypes, like what Havoc found in the Cairo Temple? There will be a little bit of a mention of that. I'm not covering most of Renegade. The only part of I realize that there'd be way too much to cover in Renegade when a lot of that is redundant and is mostly only important to Havoc himself. So a lot of the Renegade stuff is going to be covered. Just the final mission in Cairo is what's going to be covered, which does include mentions of Cabal and what's found there as well.
Sir. Unit ready. Yes, sir.
So yeah, that will be covered. Not in great detail because it's not really relevant to Tiberian Dawn and the First Tiberium War, but it will be covered. Alicia says, Snowman, off topic, I'm curious. Financially, do you have anything off? Do you make anything off of the channel, at least live streams? I don't monetize the live streams. If you guys still see ads, I'm sorry about that, but I turned off monetization on all my live streams.
Unit ready. Moving out.
Unit lost.
Moving out.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Unit reporting.
I do make some money off the channel, mostly from the main video essays, which does help from time to time, but it's not a lot.
On my way. You got it. You got it.
Trust me, if it was any like appreciable amount, I would be paying the people who are helping out
Unit lost.
in the documentary. But unfortunately, I don't make nearly enough money to be able to make that a reality. So I appreciate all of you volunteering. Privateer Man says, I'm guessing there's little mention of the Renegade stuff because Havoc doesn't leave witnesses. Yeah, most of the stuff that happens in Renegade that comes in there in universe is because of Havoc recording it on his Ava unit.
Lost.
Unit ready. No problem.
Unit lost.
Unit reporting. On my way. On my way. Sir. Yes, sir. Ready for action. Sir.
Unit lost.
Alicia says, was that a personal decision to monetize live streams? Yeah, kinda. I just didn't want a bunch of ads on here. Again, if you guys are already seeing ads anyway, then I might just turn it on just so I can at least make some money off of this. But I mostly just didn't want anybody to miss anything on the streams.
Moving out.
And honestly, I have no idea how much money I'd actually make from the streams, because it's not like there's a ton of people that watch this. Like, I make a lot more money off of the actual video essays. And by a lot, I mean compared to what I probably would make from the live streams. I'm still not making very much. Like, honestly, I think I'm making more, like, because I don't always post every month, a lot of my revenue month to month actually comes from the memberships.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When I do actually make a video essay, then by far the money from that outpaces the memberships. which again is still not that much.
Yes, sir.
Like, the most it'll do is like, hey, I could pay for gas this month because I made a good amount of money from the channel.
You got it.
And that's basically it.
Training. Building.
Unit ready.
Luke Danger, just realized you forgot to use your cluster missile. Oh well. Gosh dang it, you're right.
Unit reporting.
Privateer Man, also forgot, will there be allusions to Fun Park? Fun Park will be included. I won't tell you how it'll be included, but it will be included.
Got it.
Don't you worry.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Michael Roll, hey, at least the channel revenue can go into good things like A&W root beer, and that's probably it. No, don't destroy, no, fudge!
Unit reporting. Moving out. Unit ready. Standing by. No problem. Standing by. Sir,
Unit
orders
lost.
received.
Reinforcements have
Waiting
arrived.
orders. On my way. Unit ready. Unit orders received. Yes, sir. On my way.
Unit lost.
Unit report. No problem.
Unit lost.
No problem.
Select target.
Waiting on my
Unit
way.
lost. Unit lost.
On my way.
Unit lost.
Moving out, sir. Yes, sir. Unit ready. Moving out. Unit ready. Moving out. Orders received. Unit ready.
Okay. Anyway, Chase Baker, how do you rate the super weapon power in RA2 on your preference scale? While they were the more powerful in Tib's Sun, they aren't exactly the base deletes of Tib Wars RA3. I'll be honest, Chase Baker, the super weapons in Red Alert 2 are probably my least favorite of the entire Command & Conquer series. And let me tell you why. Not because they're bad super weapons. They're great. I love the way that the nuclear missile looks in RA2. The fact that there's a weather control machine built by Einstein
Waiting orders.
in RA2 is really cool. Very cool concept. Love it. What I hate is that in skirmishes, the timer is so dang fast. It's so fast, and unlike generals, where the timer is actually somewhat decent, but also like, what the? No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted where the timer is also the timer is got a decent timer on it, but you also have a lot of air options and general's powers and other options like tunnel networks to destroy an enemy super weapon before it's done. In Red Alert 2, none of your air options are that great and can really effectively destroy a super weapon before it launches, and it's so fast, but it's not like the earlier games where a super weapon will do minimal amount of damage. It's very nearly a base deleter if you're not careful. I think it's the worst of both worlds. I really don't like, from a gameplay perspective, the super weapons in RA2. Anyway, Privateer Man says, looks like Snow's target building couldn't have planned for an ambush by his own forces. Exactly. Now I know how Kane felt.
Building. Unit lost.
Let's see if we can avoid this happening again. Michael Girdle says, I'm sorry, Snowman, but I laughed out loud there. No, I don't blame you. It was legitimately hilarious. Alicia Earl says, the channel revenue is paying for multiple refrigerators.
Unit ready.
You got it.
Alex Pasatse says, well, now you have small laser turrets for targets.
You got it.
Indeed.
Unit ready.
Alicia Earl says, the fudge was forced. Everybody on the left side first.
No problem. Orders received, yes, sir. No problem. Engineering set. Waiting orders. Orders received.
Up and away we go.
Standing by. Ready for action. Unit reporting. Yes, sir. Waiting orders received. Unit reporting. Yes, sir.
Oh, hello.
Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Unit ready now.
Unit lost.
Unit ready. Unit reporting.
Unit lost.
Wow, that nearly took out all my forces.
Yeah. Loud and clear. Unit reporting. No problem.
Ugh.
Silence needed.
It really doesn't.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Orders received. Waiting orders.
How pathetic. Cybernetic intelligence will always be superior.
Okay. Do I have to destroy the rest of the base?
Waiting orders. Yes, sir.
Ugh. Privateer Man. Have you tried collaborating with other scene lore creators like Jathild or No Strings Production? Even if one of them is mostly just a wiki reader. Oh, come on now.
Detected.
Multiple missile launches.
Unit lost. Cluster missile ready.
No problem.
Reinforcements have arrived.
I have not.
Mission accomplished.
I don't think I'm a big enough YouTuber for them to even notice me. I'll probably wait till maybe after the documentary if that's really successful for me to try and reach out to them, because that would be super fun. I would love to collaborate with one of them. Although as far as I'm aware, No Strings Production is kind of under the radar, isn't really doing anything, so I don't know if he's even in the CNC lore scene anymore. I would love to collaborate with Jathild. That would be a dream come true. Like, anytime there's a new Jathild video, it's like, okay, let's go grab some fast food, sit down on the couch, and just eat while we watch. And that's usually, like, my comfort thing to do. A lot of people call him just a wiki reader, and I have to push back on that, because A, he does some fantastic editing and visual stuff to make it look really good, and he's got a very good and comforting voice. And secondly, like, I don't think you guys realize how many views his videos get. He gets hundreds of thousands of views on the daily for all of his videos, which to me shows a lot of people want that kind of content. A lot of people just want to have exhaustive, pedantic, just, like intelligence database entry style explanations of every aspect of the Command and Conquer universe. I know I do. Like, I love that. And he does it well. And I think he's breathed a lot of life back into that side of the fandom. And by doing things in an in-universe or almost in-universe kind of style, and by not acknowledging CNC forever, like, he's doing some really great stuff. I think he's done a lot for the CNC community and for reviving that side of things. I would not be doing my channel if it were not for creators like Jathild. So I have nothing but respect for him, and it honestly kind of annoys me a bit when people just call him a wiki reader, because it's like, well, he did it and people like it and they want it and he's getting tons of views, so I don't know. That's just my little thing. But yeah. Shot combo. Rule 1 of mission design, 95 out of 100 players will destroy your capture build and objective. You're not wrong. Let's see. Privateer Man. Didn't No Strings Production work on the lore plot of Tempest Rising? I think he did. I've heard that around. I don't know if I've ever gotten that like 100% confirmed. Shock Combo, maybe you can speak to that, because I believe you worked on Tempest Rising. Chase Baker says, for those keeping track of things, raises Snowman's ire. 1, RA Soviet victories, the prequel to Tiberian Saga. 2, RA2 supports have a busted implementation. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You found something else that annoys the heck out of me. Put it on the list. Let's see. Yeah, I got a bit more time. I can maybe do one more mission. Where's the mute button? What's this button? Okay. Privateer Man says, yeah, no complaints about the presentation, but I did notice a lot of lines are verbatim read for the wikis. Yeah, but I think that's what people want, and given the amount of views he has, I don't think most people actually really care. I know I don't really care. I mean, if all it is, even if you did reductively bring him down to just being like essentially an audiobook reader who took someone else's stuff and just reads it and presents it in a nice way, like, that's great. I spent a lot of time on the Ava database wiki just reading articles about Tiberian stuff and Command Conquer things, so that somebody like put that in a digestible package and put that on YouTube that I can watch while I'm eating. That's genius to me. Trevor Lane says, well, choking on pizza laughing at Snowman having a fudge moment was an interesting highlight of my lunch. All right. Michael Roda says, I'm a head out, Snowman. See ya. Yeah, great to see you. Hope you're available for voice acting stuff in a couple of weeks. Shock Combo says, yeah, I worked with him. I have no idea what he's up to now. Oh, so you can confirm that No Strings Production did work on the story for Tempest Rising. Is that like 100% confirmation? Privateer Man says, didn't you know that the Allied victory makes meteorites full of green crystals disappear? Okay, that's a fair criticism, Privateer Man. Well done, you got me. Alex Basad, I mean, audiobook narrators are specialists. That's true. You know, it's funny. One of the voice actors for this documentary, she actually did work on audiobooks, like for Audible. So one of our voice actors is going to be an audiobook narrator, and she's great. She's fantastic. Zora, sorry, back for real. I'm at work and some shenanigans and see they require my attention. Yeah, don't let me take you away from work. All right, I'm going to mute it. We might have time for one more mission, and then we're going to have to stop. So we might have to do one last live stream for the final mission.
Have you reached your decision, Cortez?
Yes. A ceasefire. A joint operation to neutralize the genie you people let out of the bottle. May God have mercy on us all. But you listen to me, Slavic. They used to call you the Serbian wolf, right? Fight me and I'll put you down like I would any wild dog. This is a joint command, little Nod, soldier boy. Brought on by your incompetence. Remember that.
You'll find I need to bite only once. And I always aim for the throat. I would have never approached you, Cortez, if the situation wasn't so desperate. When Cabal has been dealt with, there will be reckoning for Cortez. He has made an enemy today. Cabal's core component has been located through the use of both NOD and GDI data. It is too well defended for a direct assault, so we have to attack its support facility first. GDI is handling the cyborg production station. We will deal with Cabal's Tiberian harvesting station. Eva?
Cabal's primary harvesting facility must be destroyed. A non-civilian town in this sector is also at risk. Cabal is likely to target the town for cyborg recruitment, destroy the facility, and defend the civilians.
I want a hard target, Sweet Commander. Wipe Cabal's forces from the face of the Earth.
Here we go.
Yes, sir.
New construction options. Primary building set.
I really like that this is
Building.
that we're not just destroying Cabal's harvesting operations, but it also says a Nod civilian town in this area. That's something you don't often see. Is like Nod is always portrayed as a guy who's killing civilians, but like Nod does have areas that are loyal to them. I wonder what it's like living in a Nod-controlled area during this time in the timeline.
Unit ready.
So for this one, I think there's a few options to get more money, but for the most part, you just kind of build based off of the money you have here. I think I'm going to go west first, and then we'll push east. I'm also going to need artillery, I think.
Unit ready.
Oh, man. Zora says, I imagine it would be harsh but efficient like Caesar's Legion. Yeah, I suppose so. We've seen so much of GDI like evacuating civilians or protecting them from Tiberium infestations. As like, okay, so how does Nod handle like Tiberium infestations? Do they still protect them from the creatures? Do they send them to like medical colonies? What is it like? I will try. Alicia says, all right, Snowman, due to circumstances, I've got to go. Be blessed, man of snow, praying you're healed from that around seasonally sickness. Thank you, appreciate it. And yes, it does tend to be seasonal. Privateer Man. I think the opening of Tip's Son Nod campaign, it gives a show. That's what televised executions. That'd be pretty crazy. Just, that's the other thing, too. Like, because I imagine the yellow zones in CNC 3, like, those areas that are controlled by by Nod, I imagine are relatively normal as far as things go in that world, whereas the way it's portrayed at the beginning of the Nod campaign here in Tiberian Sun, as you said, kind of gives the impression that like it's a pretty religiously fanatical world there. All right, see you, Speedy Shade J. Good to have you here. Don't forget the repair vehicles saves you from having to build more. That's a good point, Trevin Lane. Very good point. Privateer Man. Nah, don't worry, people of the town. We have come to save you from yourselves. Exactly. Luke Danger. Twisted Insurrection had the idea that Nod was building industrial cities that were fairly polluted. Huh, interesting. Yeah, living in actual dictatorships kind of depends on the dictatorship. Like, if you're... What the... Like, if you're in a fascist or, like, a Nazi dictatorship... I've noticed that yeah, despite, you know, aside from the obvious suspension of civil liberties, there's also, it tends to be very militaristic, and I think I mentioned this before, but like the candle that burns the brightest burns the shortest. Like, it tends to be very much like based off of war, and gosh, that is loud and annoying. It's kind of depicted that way in like Star Wars Rebels, where you have the idea of like, we're always basically at war, we're always marching towards having some sort of conquest. So it's very much something that has to keep moving, keep pushing propaganda, keep having an enemy to fight, and it never really stops. A little bit like 1984. Whereas you compare it to something that's a bit more community-based and a bit more like communism and socialism, it tends to be a bit different living under that kind of dictatorship. It's a little bit more of a slow burn, I feel. Not necessarily at first, because a lot of communist dictatorial regimes start out very fascist in order to, like, establish the centralized government in the first place, like with Stalin, before it eventually becomes de-Stalinized. It becomes a little bit more reasonable, you know, relatively speaking, compared to Stalin, so take that for what you will. And same thing with China, because under Mao was very, you know, awful and dictatorial and one of the worst mass murderers. And they kind of went through a similar period of, like, I don't know, de-Maoization, if that's even a word. Nice. Can you guys not just run off forever? That would be nice. Alright, let's keep moving. Where's 10? There it is. Zura says, Kane seems very well put together. It depends on the local warlords, I imagine, though. I would agree. I don't think Kane does a lot of, like, direct ruling of anything. Kane doesn't strike me as an administration guy in that sense. I imagine a lot of the local warlords and Nod commanders are what really actually defines how you would live in a Nod city or Yellow Zone. Privateer Man. Funnily enough, I think expanding on how people lived out in Nod territory and yellow zones in TW2 and TW3 would be one of the trickiest parts of the Tips on Tib Wars documentaries. Probably. There would probably have to be a lot of speculation. You're not wrong.
Yes, sir.
Ready.
Luke Danger. For reference, the Nod village is to the northeast, and Cabal has two bases, one to the northwest and one to the southeast. The southwest is relatively empty. So, are Cabal harvesters, like, empty and run on computers, or is there actually, like, a cyborg inside driving it? And that's his one job. It's like, what is my purpose? You drive harvesters. Oh my
Destroy
Cabal.
all of Cabal's harvesters, refineries, and silos.
Privateer Man. I think looking at the other series that did post-apocalyptic life and post-apocalyptic life would be good. The NCR from Fallout 2 and New Vegas come to mind. The New Nations from the Ashes. Yeah, I need to finish
Ready.
New Vegas.
Received. Unit reporting.
Woo! Oh, there's a harvester up there.
Unit yes, sir.
Am I supposed to save the civilians in their towns from Cabal siege, disrupt and prevent Cabal civilian harvesting? Let's do that first, then.
Orders received.
Roxefe says, "Oh, this is my favorite level in the whole CNC franchise." Nice, good to have you here.
Unit reporting. Unit reporting.
Whoop. I don't know, can we? Ha 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 ha. We may.
We can ill afford to lose more civilians
Waiting
to
orders.
Cabal. Get in there and protect those civilians.
Will do.
Yes, sir. Moving out, sir. Unit reporting.
Brr, 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 brr. Yeah, good to have you here, Roxefe. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'll be honest. Is it Roxif? Roxefe?
Sir.
Destroy all of Cabal's harvesters, refineries, and silos. Building.
Waiting orders.
Privateer Man, important question. Has the Brotherhood entrusted you? The Brotherhood has entrusted me. Are the Saboteurs, like, is that just a green light, or are they actually, like, have Tiberium in the helmet? Are they mutants?
Yes, sir. No problem.
Because at first I thought that the Fanatics were mutants, but developers on CNC3 have confirmed that that's actually supposed to be face paint, not Tiberium poisoning.
Yes, sir.
Uh-oh.
On my way.
Uh-oh.
Unit ready.
Something's not right. Luke Danger says, one idea I do like is that Nod uses the New Nations as a wedge against GDI. GDI promised to restore the world's nations, so they pointed that the New Nations make it seem like GDI will erase them. Yeah, that seems very much in line. Nod will often take any advantage to paint GDI in a poor light, even though oftentimes, like, that wouldn't even exist without GDI.
Sir. Sir. Yes, sir.
Destroy all of Cabal's harvesters, refineries, and silos.
Roxif says, I can't remember either. Made this account in like 2008. Fair enough.
Well done, Commander. Reinforcements en route.
What kind of reinforcements?
Reinforcements have arrived.
Yes, sir.
Where? Oh, is GDI reinforcements? Is GDI helping to ship Nod forces now that we have an alliance?
Unit ready. On my way. Unit ready.
That'd be kind of crazy.
Sir. Waiting orders.
Is this where I get my engineers? Engineers!
Unit ready.
Unit lost.
Is that money? It is money.
Unit lost.
Badminton, no problem.
Yeah. I like the idea that GDI is actually helping with logistics for Nod now. That's pretty cool.
Building.
Unit ready.
Let's give you guys 2, and give you guys 5.
Engineering.
All right, let's go to the northwest base first. Okay, Luke Danger says, meanwhile, GDI split politically between an old guard that wants to rebuild the old nations, those come after, and newer generations that are more GDI culture and okay with them fading. Yeah, I feel like that would be really interesting. I would actually love to see
Destroy
that.
all of Cabal's harvesters, refineries, and silos.
Luke Danger says, though that's a headcanon I developed for wanting to world build a Tiberian world, that Tiberian wars that hews more to Tiberian sun while exploring outside the tank blobs and trying to show people how might have legit reasons to oppose GDI. Yeah, no, I agree, and I wish that that was something that the games could explore more, but I'm happy for what we got.
Yes, sir.
Privateer Man, that's actually a very brilliant angle. I don't think I've ever considered before. It's great, but I think it won't really be very evident until Tib Wars do that time frame,
Yes, sir.
for sure. Zura says, make it sound as chaotic as decolonization of the Cold War.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was a rough period
Yes,
for a
sir.
lot of people, especially in the Eastern Bloc.
On my way. On my way.
Luke Danger. Yeah, I came up with it primarily Tiberian Sun Tiberian War era, Privateer Man. GDI is trying to confederate and expand the blue zones, but it's hitting problems the promises made to surviving nations to enable it.
Yes, sir.
Privateer Man. GDI, your ominous laser gates are not OSHA compliant. You are inefficiently waging this war.
Moving out.
You know, right?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
wow, this is a lot.
Moving out. Orders received.
To go all the way around.
Yes, sir. Orders received. On my way.
Zora, so much missed potential with evil actually taking over and killing it.
Orders received.
What do you mean, Azura?
On my way.
Destroy all of Cabal's harvesters, refineries, and silos.
Orders received. Unit ready. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Unit yes, sir.
Alright, the base is up here somewhere.
Orders received.
Where'd the music go? We just hear the ominous... I don't even know what that noise is. Is that howling from Tiberian Fiends?
On my way.
Is that the wind?
Orders received.
Oh, EA.
Yes, sir.
Fair enough.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, where's the base?
On my way.
Is it stealthed?
Orders received.
Okay, I think it's up here.
Moving out. On my way.
Oh, it is up here. Okay,
On my
cool.
way.
We
Yes,
found
sir.
it, guys.
Sir.
Let's see if there's a way over
Sir.
the top.
On my way. On my way. Orders received. Orders received. Moving out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Orders received. Sir. Yes, sir. Sir. On my way. Moving out. Moving out.
Are these guys light enough to not be attacked by the vein hole? I'm just curious.
Orders received. On my way.
All right, let's get the artillery up here.
Sir.
Destroy all of Cabal's harvesters, refineries, and silos.
Unit reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Unit reporting. Sir. Unit ready.
All right, we're gonna try to destroy this vein hole here to open up a way and then come in from the top. I would like to capture the base if at all possible. I feel like that would be really nice.
Waiting orders. Sir.
Jez 2007 says only the Nod buggy can survive the veins if I remember correctly. Unfortunate. Wow, these things are hardy. Anytime today, sir. I do not remember these things being that hard to destroy.
Unit moving out. Waiting orders. On my way. Unit ready.
No, guys, can you stop?
Yes, sir. Ready? Sir?
I want these things alive.
Destroy all of Cabal's harvesters, refineries, and silos.
Okay, good, 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 good. I just want to wait for this to go, and then we'll cross, and then we'll go get them. Ugh. Luke Danger says, artillery does not seem to be really consistent at knocking out vein holes, sadly. That is unfortunate. That is unfortunate.
Unit ready. Moving out.
I wonder if we can explore a little more on this side while we're waiting.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On my way.
You're right, Azora, that the repair noises from the mobile repair unit are very soothing.
On my way. Yes, sir.
Wow, this looks really nice.
On my way. Yes, sir. Orders received. Moving out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is there actually stealth stuff in this base? Oh my gosh, they did stealth it.
Yes, sir.
How dare they? Look at this perfect square.
Sir. Unit, sir. Unit reporting.
What is it? Somebody attacking another vein hole? What is going on?
Waiting orders.
Destroy all of Cabal's harvesters, refineries, and silos.
Unit reporting. Yes, sir.
What do you think I'm doing? I'm gonna explore a little bit.
Unit orders received. Orders received. Orders received.
Profiteer Man says, I just had a funny thought. What if the vein holes are extinct by Tib Wars because she is blasted him with the ion cannon for target practice? Maybe.
Yes, sir.
I actually have a theory. Obviously, the real reason is the Sage engine out of universe, but in universe, I have a theory as to why Tiberium changed.
Moving out.
And I think it's because Tiberium is adaptable and evolves. And
Yes, sir.
I think when
Yes, sir.
GI discovered the resonant frequency to break down Tiberium and started using Sonic on it,
Orders received.
Tiberium sort of almost as like a hive mind realized, oh my gosh, we're being threatened, we're being broken down at the molecular level.
Yes, sir.
Emergency adaptation, and they basically became less mutative, less terraforming, and more just
Yes, sir.
solid crystals that continue to grow, like the protein lattice, as mentioned. And that was a survival response. It's almost like a biological safeguard program that was in place that basically said, okay, stop doing all the terraforming, just survive. So Tiberium became harder to be destroyed by Sonic, but still not impossible, but stopped all of its terraforming properties. I know that's not the real reason. I know the real
Destroy
reason
all of Cabal's harvesters,
is because they
refineries,
decided
and
to just
silos.
stop, but to me, that is my headcanon for why that happened, and why so quickly after Tiberian Sun and Firestorm, all of this just stops. How do I... Is this ever going to go away? Or do I have to go all the way around? I might have to go all the way around.
Unit reporting.
Fine, be that way.
Yes, sir. Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit reporting. Sir. Unit ready. Unit reporting. Orders received. On my way. On my way.
Come on.
On my way.
Don't destroy the harvesters. I want to keep you guys.
On my way. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On my way. Orders received. On my way. Waiting orders. Waiting orders. Unit reporting. Unit ready. Sir. Unit reporting. You got it. Moving out. Orders received.
Blah. Styles are just say, isn't Tiberian meant to be harvested though, or isn't that how they started harvesting it? Yeah, I think it is meant to be harvested, at least as far as like how it's depicted from the screen perspective.
Unit reporting. Sir? Sir? Awaiting orders.
Destroy all of Cabal's harvesters, refineries, and silos.
Sir? Unit reporting. Sir? Unit ready.
All right, let's give this a go.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's right. There is a cache. You're right, Alex. Besides, I forgot about that.
Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
You got it.
Well, that was a lot of loss. Privateer Man says, I'm okay with Tiberium evolving as a response, hitting critical mass in some areas like red zones. Remember, some Tiberium was ripe for harvesting when the script arrived.
You got it. Awaiting orders. Unit ready. Sir? Unit ready. Unit ready.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. And a lot of people have stated this of like, I wish Tiberium had looked different depending on
On my way.
like where it was.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Sir? Moving out.
Oh, look, they're out of power.
Unit ready.
Destroy all of Cabal's harvesters, refineries, and silos.
Waiting orders. Sir? No problem. You got it. Unit ready. Sir?
No, don't do that. Don't
Yes, sir.
do that.
Unit reporting. Yes, sir. Orders received. Moving out. You got it. Ready. Sir? Yes, sir. On my way. No problem. Yes, sir.
Shoot.
Yes, sir. You got it. Sir? Unit reporting. Yes, sir.
Let's hope this works.
Yes, sir. On my way. No problem.
Unit lost.
Can you guys not do that? No, stop. Stop. Okay, just stop. Just stop.
Unit reporting. Orders received. Unit reporting. Awaiting orders.
Okay, this should be good enough now. I think I can capture everything. I just need everybody to chill out.
Yes, sir. Sir? Yes, sir. Unit reporting. Unit ready.
Destroy all of Cabal's harvesters,
Orders received.
refineries,
Yes,
and
sir.
silos.
Unit ready. Yes, sir. Unit ready. Received. Waiting orders. Affirmative. Engineering. Unit ready.
Does he have a barracks anywhere?
Engineering. Affirmative.
Can you guys stop, please?
Waiting orders. Affirmative.
Okay, we're almost there.
Yes, sir.
Oh shoot, get over there.
Yes, sir.
Get over there. Quickly. Quickly. Yes! Oh shoot.
Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit ready. Waiting orders. Waiting orders.
Stop, 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 stop.
Waiting orders. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Captured.
Affirmative.
Wait, that might have been a
Destroy
mistake.
all of Cabal's harvesters, refineries, and silos.
Affirmative.
Why can't I capture anything else?
Building captured.
Sir,
I can't build a barracks? Really? That's really weird that I can't build a barracks. I didn't capture the war factory because I already have one of these. But, like, it's kind of weird that I can't build a barracks. It's kind of weird that I can't build anything.
received. Sir,
New construction options. Primary
unit
building
ready. Sir,
I guess we'll destroy everything then.
yes, sir. You got it. On my way.
construction complete. New construction options.
Brr, 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 brr.
Unit moving out. Unit reporting.
Construction complete.
Oh, there we go.
Construction
Oh,
options.
you, that's what you guys were talking about.
Orders received.
Destroy all of Cabal's harvesters, refineries, and silos.
That square is still really funny. Alright, you guys go blow this up. Go be useful.
Construction complete. New construction options.
There we go.
Training.
Capture everything. See, this is again kind of an example of what I think Nod is really good at. A lot of Nod's like fixed force missions
Needed.
are really cool because it's like they have to kind of work with less stuff. They don't have a full base. They just get a mobile war factory, a fist of Nod, and then they go out there and they just completely wreck shop and take other people's bases. Like, for the most part, I think the fixed force mission stuff makes more sense with Nod than it does with GDI.
Building captured. Unit ready.
Orders. No problem.
I guess I'll build this while we're here. What are you? Oh. Wow, this map is huge.
Destroy all of Cabal's harvesters, refineries, and silos.
Can do. We'll build some more tick tanks while we're here.
Unit ready. Building.
Bloop, 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 bloop.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Engineering. Affirmative.
Construction complete. Building captured. Unit ready. Building captured. Unit ready.
Now we can build the Nod Tech Center.
Unit ready.
Ready.
Unit ready. Construction complete.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. No problem. Engineering. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Privateer Man says, "You know what I wish someone would make a remake of? World Conquest mode from RA2 into Sun. A big risk-style map of a region. You go to town, taking over areas for trappies."
Yes, sir.
That was something back in the day?
Building captured.
That sounds awesome.
Unit
Awaiting
ready.
orders. No problem.
Building captured.
Oh, now it's finally starting to go away. All right, let's go get him.
Building captured.
Awaiting orders. Unit ready.
Sir?
Unit reporting.
Building captured.
Sir? Sir?
Training. Unit ready.
On my way. Unit yes, sir.
I don't think I... Oh, I can build the weed eaters. You're right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On my way. Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
On my way. Orders received.
Money, just like you said there'd be.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Destroy all of Cabal's harvesters, refineries, and silos.
Orders received.
Unit ready.
On my way. Unit ready.
Unit ready.
Waiting orders. Moving out, sir.
Unit ready.
Waiting orders. Unit reporting.
Okay.
Unit ready.
Yeah, you guys were talking about that there's an oversight where I can build a GDI MCV and I can build a not War Commando. That'd be kind of crazy. Is that because they just honestly did not expect us to like capture Cabal's stuff, which seems weird that they would assume that we wouldn't, given that they've given us engineers.
Construction complete. New construction options.
Whoa.
Building.
Sir.
Whoop, that was close.
Moving out. Yes, sir. Orders
Yeah,
received.
don't do that.
Orders received. Yes,
Unit
sir.
ready.
Orders received, sir. Unit reporting, sir. Unit ready. Awaiting orders. No problem. Sir. On my way. Unit ready. Waiting orders. Yes, sir. Unit reporting.
Unit
Sir.
ready. Construction complete. New construction options.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Training. Building. Building.
Privateer Man says apparently it was an online mode exclusive to Westwood Online and it was a multiplayer thing. Huh.
Waiting orders.
Kind of sucks that I missed that. That sounds a lot like the Global Conquest mode that was in Kane's Wrath.
Moving out. Yes, sir. Unit ready, sir. Waiting orders. Unit reporting.
Construction.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On my
Unit
way.
ready.
On my way. Unit on my way.
Gotta watch out for those.
Unit reporting. Moving out. Sir.
Yay.
Unit ready.
Low power. Building.
Waiting orders. Yes, sir. Moving out.
Let's see what this does.
On my way. Moving out.
Destroy all of Cabal's harvesters, refineries, and silos. Construction complete.
Unit
Building.
orders received.
New construction options.
Oh my gosh, you're right. That's so crazy.
Construction complete.
Well, when in Rome.
Construction complete. New construction options. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Building.
Why the heck not?
What? Who?
Construction complete.
What?
New construction options. Building. Training.
Sir. On my way. On my way.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
Unit ready.
New construction options. Building.
Unit ready.
Unit lost.
Unit reporting. Orders received. Yes, sir. Unit ready. Sir. Yes, sir. Unit reporting. Orders received. Unit reporting. Unit report. Unit ready.
Standing by. Hit it. Hit it.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledge.
Insufficient funds.
Awaiting orders. Unit ready. Yes, sir.
Privateer Man, if you consider making a joke documentary for a silly mod like General Shockwave Chaos and posting April 1st, that's not a bad idea. I've considered multiple times doing a joke video essay on CNC4. Never got around to it though, because the amount of work it takes to make a video essay is too much for a joke, especially for a game I don't care about. But yeah, for a mod, that would actually probably be really hilarious. By the way, there's going to be next Saturday, I think, a April 4th, kind of late April Fool's live stream, where we're going to be doing a tier list and examining all the different unit designs from the game that shall not be named, and we are going to see which ones are trash, which ones are like, I wouldn't mind seeing that in a real CNC game, and which ones we think are absolute betrayals.
Harvesters, refineries, and silos.
So, yeah, look forward to that. I would have a lot of fun watching that through. I think once we're done with that, we're also going to go through all my previous polls, and I'll let you guys know what I would have voted for all of those, and which ones I was profoundly disappointed by.
Construction complete.
Inferior tactics detected.
Awaiting orders.
Says the guy that's losing, Cabal.
New construction options. Building.
Let's build a Titan.
Unit ready.
Status. Hotwa. Stand here. Hotwa. Who?
Riot Crew says CNC Legions will shut down on April 27th. Maybe make an autopsy video. I barely know what Legions is. I'll be honest. Like, the trifecta of like, no, can you, yeah, like the trifecta in my mind of like games that were released after CNC4 are like
Destroy
Tiberium Alliances,
harvesters, refineries.
Tiberium Legion, and Tiberium Rivals, and I have a trouble keeping them in my head. Like, I'm pretty sure Rivals is the mobile one, and that Alliances is the browser-based one. Which one was Legion? Ah.
You got it.
Privateer Man. In retrospect, I find it really, really funny how many supervillain layers and plots Yuri has in Yuri's Revenge, both the Allied and the Soviet campaigns. Yeah, he's got plans within plans.
Cluster missile ready.
Ooh.
Directive. Stand here. For the Brotherhood.
We still got one cyborg that's still on our side. Ah!
Select target.
Your command.
Uh-oh.
Waiting orders. Unit ready.
Construction complete.
Sir? Yeah.
Standing by. Executing.
Waiting orders. Unit reporting.
Destroy all of Cabal's harvesters, refineries, and silos.
Okay, Legions was the mobile one. Legion was another mobile game that was basically CNC in name only, as in refineries generate steel as a resource, and a big part of it is building mechs like the King Oni.
You got it.
Good grief, that sounds awful. Quick, Cabal, apply Dis 5 filter to yourself in a last-ditch effort to survive.
Yes, sir.
DLSS 5, good grief.
You got it. Moving out. Orders received.
Rivals was the mobile game that actually kind of sort of tried to be a CNC game. Yeah, I've heard decent things about Rivals.
On my way. Orders received. Yes, sir. On my way. You got it. On my way. You got it. On my way.
Where's the stealth generator?
On my way.
There it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No problem. No problem. On my way.
Destroy all of
On my
Cabal's
way.
harvesters, refineries, and silos.
On my way. You got it. No problem. You got it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got it. You got it. No problem. No problem.
Select target.
Sir. Yes, sir. On my way. On my way. On my way. Sir. Yes, sir. On my way. Yes, sir.
New construction options. Building.
Sir,
Unit
on my
lost.
way. No problem. On my way. Standing by. Good as new. Unit reporting. You got it.
Yeah, Privateer Man says Torture Dungeon in the Pyramids, Secret Island Launch Facility, Moon Base, Transylvania Castle, Antarctic Stronghold, Floating Disc, Cloning, Psychic Dominators, Nuclear Missiles, Dinosaur Movies. Yeah, he basically was like a Bond villain on steroids. Or like a 1950s mad scientist.
Orders received.
Luke Danger. Rivals was the mobile game that actually kind of sort of tried to be a CNC game. Rivals actually tried to make the characters they brought back look like themselves. Legion, however, just took the names and the art that looked nothing at all like who they're supposed to be. Luke Danger. Meanwhile, Tiberium Alliances was the browser-based game that basically the Tiberian Wars also plus a few Tiberian Twilight things like Codex, Paladin, Salamence. I remember Tiberian Alliances. I tried to get into that before I quickly realized
Yes, sir.
it was a pay-to-win,
Yes, sir.
grindy sort of game.
Ready.
Yeah, good question. There was an infantry guy that ran out of the Cabal Tech Center. What was that?
Yes, sir. You got it.
Chase Baker. Simon Ed did a video that explored map rules and triggers, unit behaviors, and so on for the RA2 Soviet campaign. I found very fascinating as to how Wiswood came up with some brilliant workarounds. I'll have to check that out.
On my way.
Well,
Mission accomplished.
we did it. All right. Well, this is probably where we're going to have to end the stream because I've got to go soon. But we made a lot of really good progress. So I'm just gonna watch the next cutscene, save, and then we'll end it here. Let me know if you guys have any questions for the documentary. So yeah, the next stream will be the April Fool's stream for the tier list next Saturday. Hope you guys can make it. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then at some point after that, we'll do the last nod stream for Core of the Problem. And then the stream after that, we'll finally get to Tempest Rising. So, yay for us. Let me just mute myself, and then we're going to watch the cinematic, save, answer some questions, and then we'll be done.
GDI confirms that Cabal's cyborg facility has been destroyed. The implanted virus has had significant impact on all cyborg production stations. Secondary teams are currently at work dismantling them.
Now it is time to strike the final blow. Cabal's true core has betrayed the Brotherhood. Now it must pay.
Perimeter defenses remain online. It is unknown what systems are in place defending Cabal's core.
Defenses are irrelevant. You will destroy Cabal's core. All of Nod is at your disposal. Deactivate his defenses, defeat his children, and smash that machine into junk. May Kane guide you in victory.
Reinforcements have arrived.
This is the first time we get the elite cadre, which is one of my favorite units, which I think Roomwish did a video on.
Battle control
All right. Privateer Man. Well, it'll be fun to try and make the Tib Sun documentary when it comes around to it. Maybe if the main documentary is lucky, it will give you attention to get cosplayers in on it too, do some recording. That would be fantastic. That's the dream. Trevor Lane says, it's been a blast. Have a great day. Absolutely. Zura says, not for the documentary, but if you need more strategy games, check out Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri. I just might. I've heard good things about that game. All right. Well, I think that's everything. Thank you guys so much for supporting me through all of this. Hopefully the IRL stuff is going to be fixed real soon. And like I said, working on a lot of stuff with the documentary. I am really bummed there's nothing I can really show you guys just yet. But hopefully within the next month or so, I'll have more stuff together that I can actually put into a teaser. Also, next week or two, if you're one of the voice actors, look out for requests for the next phase of voice acting. Also, there may or may not be an open spot if there's somebody who hasn't auditioned yet that wants to try and get in, because I may have to fill a spot quick if the person I want to do things can't make it. So we'll see. Luke Danger says, have a good day, Snowman. You as well, Luke Danger. Privateer Man. I remember that one mod for Tib Wars that's about the Forgotten. The creator recorded FMV cutscenes for himself and a friend. It's very charming. Yeah, I like that one. I never finished it because it was too difficult for me, but I like the FMV cutscenes. It's one of the few mods that kind of felt like it could be like a lost game in the series. All right, well, if there are no more questions, I'm going to head out. Thank you very much. Thanks, Azura. Take care of yourself as well. Have a good one, everybody. And Shot Combo, I will be checking out your game in a matter of weeks. So I hope you can make it for the Tempest Rising stream. Have a good one, guys. All right, but in the words of Einstein from Red Alert 2, what does this button do?
Battle